Hi everybody, thank you for clicking on Ryan Cinema Reviews. I hope you've checked out my videos that I've done before this so you can kind of catch up on whatever's in theaters that I've seen or reviewed so far. This is my third video, so I hope you enjoy it. Today I'm going to be reviewing two films, and I'm going to recommend to you one film. The first film I'm going to review, I saw it a few days ago in theaters, and it's in 3D, so, you know, I kept my 3D glasses, and that was The Green Hornet starring Seth Rogen. You know, I went into this movie expecting not much, maybe some good action, and that's pretty much what I got. A little bit of good action scenes, and a stupid movie. I mean, this movie is beyond ridiculous. You know, it's written by Seth Rogen and his writing partner, and he stars in the main role. And most of the movie, he's just jabbering about his own ego. He's trying to become Robert Downey Jr., I think, in Iron Man, you know? He's a rich kid, you know, some tragic stuff happens to him, and so he has to take over his father's business, and, you know, becomes a superhero, blah, 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 blah. And a lot of this movie actually doesn't even really have him fighting in it. Usually it's his little partner, sidekick, who actually, it would be better just to have a movie about that person than about him, and it's usually him fighting. Seth Rogen barely does any fighting. And whenever they do fight, if anybody's going to see this movie, there's a spoiler coming up. Cameron Diaz, of all people, is in this movie, and she is completely miscast in this. Well, anyways, Seth Rogen and his partner in the movie actually fight over her. And it's ridiculous. You know, the only thing good about this movie is some of the fight scenes and the villain. And the villain is the same villain that was in Inglourious Basterds. And he did a pretty good job. I forgot his name. I think it's Christoph something. I forgot his name. But he was a pretty intense villain. But, you know, the movie was written by Seth Rogen, so you know it's going to be ridiculous. The character completely turns into just the most ridiculous thing you could possibly imagine. And, you know, even the people I saw the movie with and everybody that walked out of the theater just complained about the movie, you know. I think it would have been better if it just wasn't made at all. Seth Rogen completely ruined the entire story of Green Hornet. And so, I'm going to give this movie 0 out of 4 stars, because after I saw it, I thought maybe, you know, maybe it's okay. But as I was thinking about it, it was actually an awful, awful movie. And if you want to watch a good superhero movie, watch Iron Man. Because that's, I mean, it's way better than this movie. Or watch Batman Begins or, you know, Dark Knight. Watch something other than this piece of junk. And so I do not recommend this to anybody. And that is why I kept my 3D glasses. Because if we spent money on tickets anyways, I might as well keep the glasses that they wanted you to return at the end of the movie, because I wanted to at least get something for the money I paid. And it was just awful. The second movie that I saw was, in fact, yesterday, was The Dilemma, starring Vince Vaughn and Kevin James, Jennifer Connelly, and Winona Ryder. And, you know, I was actually pretty surprised in this movie. I've been reading a lot of the reviews, and, you know, a lot of the critics were saying it's not funny, it's not funny, it's not funny. And, you know, I have to agree, it's not all that funny. And I think that's one of the strengths of the movie, because it is marketed as a comedy, but it's actually a comedy drama. And it's a pretty heavy movie dealing with infidelity and, you know, friendships. And what keeps you going through this, like, heavy, heavy topic is the little comedic moments with Vince Vaughn and Kevin James, who do very well in this movie as mixing comedy and a little bit of drama. And it's a pretty heavy movie, so I recommend it to you. You know, Ron Howard directs it, but don't watch it if you think all you're going to do is laugh the entire time, because you won't get that. What you're going to get is a quality movie about relationships and, you know, with a little bit of comedy mixed in. And it's kind of a reminder of Ron Howard's film Parenthood that he came out with. You know, it was about 15 years ago. It's funny, but it kind of mixes real life, you know, relationships and family, and it deals with all those issues. And that's why the critics haven't been as nice to it, is because they wanted just to see a Vince Vaughn movie. But what they got was a good Ron Howard, Vince Vaughn, Kevin James comedy drama. And so I give this movie 3.5 out of 4 stars. And I give it 3.5 out of the 4 stars because what would have made it a 4 is if they would have marketed it as a comedy drama. Now, I was put a little bit off guard about, about the heavy nature of the movie and what it dealt with, and I didn't realize it was going to go so deep into it, but it did. Now, it was a strength, but maybe if they would have marketed it different, it would have been just even better, because I would have expected it. But that's the only reason. But I do give this 3.5 out of 4 stars. I recommend it to you, and I hope you go see it, because it is way better than the Green Hornet, and it's a lot better than Little Fockers. Okay, with those 2 movies out of the way, I'm going to recommend you a movie. And I don't have anything to show you about it, but it's a movie from the early 40s, and it's called Laura, starring Gene Tierney, and it's a film noir, and it's a wonderful movie. This detective's trying to figure out what happened to this girl that he's, investigating her death. What happened to her? And he's investigating and, reporting on all these different people in her life, trying to figure out who did it. And all these surprises happen. I'm not going to tell you about the climax and everything in the movie, but it is a great, great, great movie, and I recommend you watch it. And you can find it on Amazon, Netflix, you could even find it at Target, and it's called Laura. So check it out. So that's the end of my video. Thank you for watching, everybody. I'm going to be trying to do one of these every few days or so, and so be sure to subscribe to my page and continue to watch these videos, because I'm going to be doing them for a long time. And thank you very much. That's it.